Hey fam, welcome to Jack the Jeep. So today I'm kicking it in the corner. This is called Crash Course. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and start with some dates here from 1916 to 1917. The next set of dates we're going to be talking about is World War II, which is 1914 through 1918. So this is actually the Mexican punitive expedition. This is World War I. Now during the Mexican punitive expedition, the army chased around Pancho Villa, had a problem with him. They started to realize that they needed some different form of transportation. Now during World War I, the army actually used a vehicle, and it wasn't a Jeep, it was actually called the Jeffrey four-wheel drive truck. It was a truck. So that truck though had its problems. And its biggest problem, I'm going to put it over here, it only went 18 miles per hour. Horses can actually run faster than that, so that's pretty darn slow. But the other thing that was wrong with the Jeffrey truck is that it didn't do too bad, but the army knew that they couldn't transport enough. It wasn't going fast enough. It was too heavy. All sorts of different things like that. So the next thing we're going to talk about is 1939 to 1945. I'm going to put this one in red. 1939, 1945. I'm sure you guys can get where I'm going with this here. This is the big one, guys. World War II. What happened during World War II? Well, the Army tried a lot of different things before the Jeep. They actually tried the Model T from Ford. They also tried motorcycles with the narrow tires, the excessive weight. They even tried to chop down the Model T. They took the fenders off. They did all sorts of different things. But it still it sank in the mud. It sank in sand. It just did not perform the way the Army wanted it to perform. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about World War II for a second. So Walter Short ordered Robert Howe, and he also ordered Master Sergeant M. Wiley to build a vehicle. Now this was in Fort Benning, Georgia, and they were asked to build a vehicle. Vehicle was a little different. I'll draw it up for you actually. We have a little box here. Comes back. Up here we have a machine gun, which is on the passenger side, and on the other side we actually have two joysticks. This is actually the engine. It was placed in the back of the vehicle. This is called, initially it was actually named after Howe. It was a Howe military vehicle. But it was eventually changed to the, I'll write it right here, belly flopper. This belly flopper, they thought was going to change a lot of different things in the Army. It was a great vehicle for assaults. It did a great job with it all. But the only problem was, it was only, let me change the color here, it was actually only front wheel drive. So yeah, the driver sits down on one side, he's using these, or lays down, excuse me, he's using these joysticks, and then the passenger side there's a gunner. He's sitting there blasting people. Now, good thing is it did work again. It worked great for assaults, but it had a lot of downfalls also. It couldn't carry anything. It was, you couldn't travel a long ways. They had to actually truck it from battle to battle to battle. So this is kind of the start for the Army wanting more. What was that more? Was it the Jeep? Well, who invented the Jeep? You're going to have to stay tuned for that one. So in the meantime. All right, guys, so we're going to review real quick. During the crash course today, we learned that in 1916 and 1917, the Army realized during the Mexican punitive expedition chasing Pancho Villa that they needed something more. Now, during World War I, they did use the Jeffrey four-wheel drive truck, but it still didn't work well because it had 18 miles per hour. That was it, kind of limited. So Walter Short, during World War II, ordered Howie and Wiley to come up with some new form of transportation. That new form was actually called the Howard Military Vehicle. Now that was eventually changed to the belly flopper, and the reason why is you lay on your belly, one driver, one passenger. Now the Army did definitely want more. They were wanting more. I left my G off there, wanting more. So what's next? Stay tuned. If you like this kind of content, click subscribe, hit that bell that we can be notified of any new content. In the meantime, my name's Steve. This was your crash course. Later.
You can call me stupid.